Okay, this is Grandma Ray Don't Play, and I'm back for part 2 with Mr. Keith Atkins. And he has just been wowing us on part 1 on how he became an executive chef from a dishwasher, okay, and all the different sports events he went to, and some of the sports athletes and people he met, and about his business. He has his own personal business, which is he's an executive chef that he travels from state to state cooking for different events and catered affairs and that sort of thing. And I don't want to tell you anymore. You know what? You should go watch video 1. Okay? So now we're going to do video 2 because, you know, it's more to him than you would think. It's just amazing. I'm just really, really happy I met him. And so, tell me a little bit, let's go back and tell me a little bit about how many kids you have, how many brothers and sisters you have.
Okay. I have 2 brothers, 1 sister. They all live in Pennsylvania still. I've been married for 27 years. I have 2 daughters, both in college. One's graduating here pretty soon, and one just started college. And yeah, and I got 2 dogs that are at least boy dogs. So.
Oh, you got 2 dogs? What kind?
I have an Australian Shepherd and a little Maltese.
Oh, nice, nice. I bet they really, really run up and give you a big lick when you come home.
Oh yeah, when I'm out for a while, when the time I walk in the door, they're going crazy.
Oh, I bet. They said, oh yeah, the one that cooks is home. Yeah. What do they like, chicken?
Well, actually, they like pasta.
Really?
The dogs love pasta for some reason. I don't know
why. Oh, okay, okay. So, I understand that you might be interested in starting a YouTube channel.
Actually, yes.
Tell them about it.
I would like probably to start one, and basically on all the events that I do and all the different, from golf to NASCAR to NBA basketball to NFL football to college football, is basically take a GoPro with me and do behind the scenes of all the behind the scenes work that happens in the kitchen. I think that would be very interesting that people would love to see, just because everybody, when they go to a restaurant, all you see is the front of the house and the plate of dinner that comes to you. You never really get to see the back of the house of the kitchen and what really goes in to produce that food before it comes out to the table. Okay,
so why don't you give us a disaster story of behind the scene? You know, so we'll know what we're gonna be watching one day.
Well, there's been a couple of disaster ones where, you know, kids will be playing in the kitchen and they'll slip and fall and accidentally, you know, their fingers go into the fryer or something like that. So I mean, there's a lot of things in the kitchen that, you know, there's no room for horseplay, for sure. I mean, there's too many sharp knives, there's too many hot items that, you know, and there is times where it does happen. And then when it does happen, you know, we kind of stop and nip it at the bud and make sure it doesn't happen again.
So. Okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, you don't want any horror stories ever to happen, though.
Yes.
That's for sure.
But we know people own restaurants and they have their kids because they're trying to raise their kids, and my guess is that the kids are there a lot.
Yeah, and I actually used to own restaurants when I was younger, when my daughters were real young.
You did?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you skipped that part.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I actually owned 2 restaurants. One was called Lane Avenue Cafe, and one was called Lulu's Waterfront Cafe. They were both in Florida, and my daughters were real small at the time. And just like you said, either your kids come to work with you or you don't really see them as much. So it was kind of that thing where when they started getting older and in grade school, you know, it was time for me to leave the restaurant and go to the normal structure, 9 to 5 or you know, 6 to 2:30 kind of job, and so I can be home with them.
Well, what kind of food did you serve at your restaurants?
The first one was an Italian restaurant. The second one was more like a Cajun Italian. So it was a flair of Louisiana and Italy together.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Wow. Okay. And how many employees did you have?
The first restaurant we had, I think there were 9. It was a really small restaurant, countertop seating, so when you come in you would see everybody cooking and sort of like that. The second one we probably right around 45 employees, counting everybody from day shift and night shift.
That's a lot.
Yeah, well, it was it was a lot. I wouldn't, honestly, I would say I wouldn't do it again, but I would do it smaller. Smaller is much better.
Okay.
Definitely much better. You can control it a little better.
Yes.
You know, get 45 people to watch, it's kind of hard to watch that.
I always said if I ever opened up a restaurant, I would definitely have mine all takeout. That way I don't have to pay for someone to wait the tables, and I don't have to worry about you not showing up for work to wait the tables.
And that's true. That is very true.
Yeah, and I can do that at a certain time. You know, I have to be there all day and night. To me, that just makes a lot of sense. So that's my dream if I ever did that. But you know, I always tell you, I'm 66. 66, you wind down on a lot of stuff. Definitely. So you're interested in YouTube?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What would your name be?
You know, I'm probably going to have to keep it as my email address and go with Chef Fizzle.
Okay.
I would say Chef Fizzle don't play, but you already got that one. But I don't want to steal your name there, so I'm
That's
definitely
okay. You can go for it. When they Google, as soon as they hit grandma, I pop up. They don't even get to the play part.
They don't get to the play
So you
part.
can go for it.
All right.
Yeah, I share.
I think Chef Fizzle will be definitely in the title.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys heard that, right? The name of his YouTube channel that he has not created yet, but he is going to soon, is Chef Frizzle. Whoa. You stay tuned for that, okay? I'll let you know when that's really popping, just in case you don't see, because you don't want to miss the behind the scenes. Who else is showing you behind the scenes of a restaurant? You all want to know about all that, right? You complain about the food is cold, the food is hot, it don't look right when it gets out there. Don't you want to know what's going on behind the scene? Of course you do.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he's going to let you know that with a camera. Oh my goodness.
Going to show the world.
Oh, that ought to be very interesting. And what about your traveling? Is that going to be in the YouTube?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think the best part of it would be the different events that I do and my friends do. Because not one event is always the same. I mean, no matter where we go, we still hear all the same stories and all that kind of thing, but every event is so different from the last one that we just were at. We could be out in the middle of a golf, course with a tent with ovens and stuff, and it could be pouring down rain. We can be in Milwaukee where there's a snow blizzard coming, and and having to work out, outside and inside.
Oh.
So there's a lot of different times where we go, and you better know the weather that you're going to.
Wow.
And especially if you're outside, because there's been some times where it was either too hot, and miserable weather, like the heat, or we've been some places where it was just pouring down rain for 5 days.
Wow.
Mother Nature, you can't control that, so you just got to deal with it.
Oh, and wow.
So that is a little challenging when we do travel and things like that. But, cooking, I always say cooking's cooking. Chicken is chicken. I'm not inventing the wheel. Okay. I'm just putting WD-40 on the roll smooth.
Okay, I like that one.
Yeah, it's not rocket science. That's for sure.
Well, it may not be to you.
Well, and that's what
but
everybody says also.
You know, I have a lot of people who watch my channel who are learning how to cook. So my channel is a teaching channel. And
sure.
So to us, it may be easy, but to other people, it's really like fun.
And that's true.
Yeah.
And I take things for granted a lot. I mean, I will, you know, be in a place where I'm showing up for 3 weeks to help them out, and you know, I'll explain things to different cooks in the kitchen, and I kind of almost forget sometimes that they don't know that also, just like I do. So I got to stop myself and, you know, slow down a little bit, explain things. Sometimes I explain things a little bit too much, and they'll be like, I know that. I'm like, I understand, but you never assume. You can never assume in the kitchen.
That's right.
Because it'll make a donkey out of yourself.
Okay. So true, so true. Now, we mentioned earlier that there are women that work in the front end of the kitchens and businesses, and that they do this traveling. Do you can you tell us a little bit about that? Sure.
I mean, I have about 5 friends that are female that are chefs. Actually, one is actually up in Boston with me traveling right now. She's at a different school. But there's about 5 to 6 that I know really well that I travel with, and then there's about 10 front of the house women that do bartending and waitressing, and they basically travel around just like I do. So I mean, you know, the events that they go to, I will see, like when we do the U.S. Open golf, it's a big event. So they bring in a lot of different chefs, probably 50, you know, from all over the United States, that will come in and help out with the U.S. Open. And then they got to bring the front of the house also, you know, servers, bartenders, and you just can't find 100 people in the area that they're setting up this golf event, so they bring travelers in.
Okay, so you also go to businesses that need your assistance in regards to maybe there isn't a chef, or maybe it's not the place is not functioning right.
And that's where the consultant comes in. Normally, if they are transitioning, second to the word, if a chef is leaving one account and you're getting a new chef, and it's about a month in between where the new chef starts, you just can't close that facility down. So you need to keep it running. So that's where I come in, and my friends come in. We come in, and we'll come in for that month just to keep everything flowing the way it was, and then when the new chef comes in, we'll train them and send him on his way, and then we'll end up leaving and going to another event.
Okay, so there's lots of reasons why you're needed.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one thing in the United States that I found out is there will always be transportation, because people are a little lazy, and they don't want to walk everywhere, they're going to want to drive.
Yes.
And everybody's got to eat.
That is so true, so true.
So the food business, I don't really see it dying off too quick. I mean, everybody has to eat. So as long as you can cook well, you'll have a job. All
right, all right. So, okay, so let's say some of my subscribers out there, they're not gonna go and travel, and they don't really want to be a chef as a job. What could you tell them, let's say if they were cooking a beef, or if they were cooking pasta, how could they cook those two things? What tips could you give them?
Well, we'll start with pasta. Make sure your water, for number one, is boiling. Add salt to your waters, because when you add a little salt to the water and you cook your pasta, you want the pasta not to just taste like pasta. It's just have a little salt in it and a little flavor. Add a little oil after your pasta is cooked. If you are not serving it right then and there, and let's say that you wanted to cook the pasta at 4 o'clock and your wife or husband's coming home at 6 o'clock, that pasta is going to keep on cooking. So you want to shock it with an ice bath or cold water to stop it, and then you can reheat it at 6 o'clock when your wife or husband come home, and then you can just reheat it in your sauce and stuff like that. But normally, like in big events that we do, we cook so much pasta that we're cooking like the day before or the morning before the night shift, so we have to cool it down and get it in, you know, at cold temp, put it into the cooler, and then when it's time to make that product, we bring it back out and reheat it and do the product.
Okay, so when you say reheat it to them, are you talking about, you said add it to the sauce? You can
add it to the sauce, or you can just have another little pot of boiling water and put it in like a little china cap and just drop it in there and dunk it in boiling water.
Real quick.
And it will heat up just like that.
Okay.
And if you have a sauce with, like, say you're sauteing chicken Alfredo, you have an Alfredo sauce in your chicken going, and you just take that pasta that you dipped into your sauce, toss it a couple times, add a little salt and pepper for flavor, a little cheese, put it on a dish, and have a great day.
All right, all right, all right. And the beef?
The beef, it all depends on what kind of beef you're getting. If you get tenderloin, of course tenderloin's the Cadillac of beef, so it's very tender. But if you're getting a sirloin or an eye round or something like that is a tough piece of meat, the last thing you want to do is cook it at a high heat and fast. Something that is very, very tough, you want to basically cook it low and slow. Cook it at a lower temperature, 275. You know, it depends on how big the meat is, for how long. But let it go slow so that it's not just cooking fast on the outside and then the inside isn't done, and then you got tough meat. It's a very good technique to make a tough piece of meat tender. So you got to take your time. Don't rush it.
Okay.
You know, take your time.
Put it on slow and go watch a 2-hour movie and check it in between.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That works. That works. So you're in Massachusetts. How did you find Massachusetts? You like it?
I did. The weather was a little cold. Me being from Florida now, my blood is like water. So when the cold weather, I'm not really used to. But everybody here was very, very nice and kind, and I mean, very nice place. I would definitely come back. Let's put it that way. I'd love to see it in the summertime, honestly. I would love to come up here in the summertime and enjoy it.
Oh, okay.
Because when it's cold, you don't really want to go outside too much.
Well, I want you to know that you had our best weather because it's usually snowing.
Well, thank you. You're welcome. I brought that with me.
Oh, boy. So you're flying out this week?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, tomorrow is my last day in Boston. I will be flying home to Florida on Wednesday, and then I will be home for 2 days, and then on Saturday I fly to Houston, Texas to do the Houston Rodeo.
Oh.
So that's another event that I will do, and then I'll be there for about 3 weeks. And then I'll come home for about 5 days, and then I'll go do the Masters golf tournament up in Augusta, Georgia.
And how long is that for?
That's going to be about 10 days. So I'll be there for 10 days. I'll leave out of there. I will probably be home for about a week. I'll go to Notre Dame to do the spring football game. That'll be about a week long. I'll leave Notre Dame, go to North Carolina to do a furniture show.
A furniture show?
Yeah, I didn't know that there were food and furniture shows either.
Okay. Well, you know, the people will go when it's food.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then after that, I will take about 10 days off, and then I will be up in New York doing the U.S. Open golf tour, and then I will hit the Seniors U.S. Open in Rhode Island.
Whoa. So as you guys see, he's moving.
Yeah.
He's really traveling. That's nice. That's really nice. So are you going to write a book when this is all over?
You know, I never really thought about writing a book, but everywhere we go and travel, everybody, a lot of my friends, we say we need to be writing this down. We need to be writing this down because we tell people our stories and they look at us like we're crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like half of them don't believe us. You know, but we're not making it up. It's the truth.
I think it's a good idea to write the book because it allows a person to go, you know, all over without actually traveling.
Right, and I agree with that. I mean, we've been talking about it for years, and it's a shame that no one has ever really done it. So that's why I think the YouTube channel, with me doing the back of the scenes and catching everything that we would normally be writing down. I think that'll be the way to go.
Okay, okay, wonderful. I can't wait to see you on the tube.
No,
Really
me neither.
You know, I started mine when I was 64 years old. I had retired, and I thought, well, my grandson actually started it because I wanted to be a stand-up comedian.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And so we took a road trip down south, and we was coming back. And so they said, well, what are you going to do when you retire? I said, oh, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. I'm going to go up there and let everybody know everything. My daughter said, you better not tell my business. So they said, okay, so let's hear what you can do. And I had them laughing the
In the car? Really?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And my YouTube family is still waiting on me to do a performance for them. But they are going to get that performance one day.
Oh, I can't wait to see that one.
So when we got almost to Massachusetts, he said, Grandma, you're all set. I made you a YouTube channel. He says, now, he says, you don't have to travel and do the stand-up comedian show. You can just do it right on here, and you can reach millions of people. And so I said, are you kidding me? So, of course, the nerves went in and everything. And so when I made my first video, I said I was going to do comedy, cooking shows, and talk shows, and teach you how to budget. I've done everything but that comedy part. Every now and then a subscriber will say, Rachel, when are you going to do your comedy show? You know, but I'm going to actually do that one day. I'll have to find the right...
I'm looking forward to it. I want to hear it. I want you to make me laugh.
Yeah, yeah. So I really enjoyed my YouTube channel. The people, you people, are very, very, very supportive of me. You know, they let you know if they like you, if they love you, if they don't, they don't like you did this or did that. And I accept all of that because all of that is our communication.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think you're going to have a wonderful journey with that.
I think it will be very interesting, honestly. I think it's going to be one of those things where I should have done it a long time ago.
Okay. Wonderful. And wait until you can get some of these people in the, like the sports guys on camera. On
Absolutely.
camera.
Yeah.
Oh, that will do it.
Yep, I think that'll be it too.
Yeah.
Yep. This will be a good time.
Yeah, it will be. I think it will be. Well, you know, I don't want to hold you too much longer, but I do want you to say two things again. Your address and name of your company. So if anyone wants your service, so if you want your service catered, or you have a restaurant, or you have a question, or you're ready to go do this traveling chef job, you can feel free to contact him. And also what your future YouTube name is going to be again, so that that's the last thing we leave them with. I
gotcha. Alrighty. Like I said, the email address is cheffizzle@comcast.com, or .net, excuse me. And it is CHEFFIZZELL@comcast.net. And then basically the YouTube name is probably most likely 100% going to be Chef Fizzle. And the email address you have. And then other than that, getting like consultant work or anything like that, please email me if you have a restaurant or you have a business, a food business that you are looking for a little suggestions or help in. I'm more welcome to help you out.
Okay, so you heard it here. Hit the thumbs up if you like it, and you know it. You know you liked it. Okay, so hit that thumbs up. What you waiting on? Hit that thumbs up. Okay, subscribe if this is your first time on my video, on my channel, and please share the video, because other people need to know this information, or maybe they're interested in hearing how his life went. because we all have a story to tell, right? And you can follow him from beginning to end. So I brought you from the beginning. He was a dishwasher to now he's an executive chef. So you are all caught up now, so make sure you follow him, okay? And so until next time, God bless. And remember, Grandma Ray loves you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was awesome.